Hello there. Our politicians just never learn, do they? Even in the face of the results of the recent EU parliamentary elections and the polls, they still insist that Brexit must be opposed at all costs. Our elected representatives are still intent on blocking Brexit at every turn, aren't they? And they are blocking Brexit by doing all they can to force the no-deal Brexit scenario off of the table. This would then give any incoming Prime Minister absolutely no leverage to work with when negotiating with the European Union, so enhancing the chances of a Brexit reversal, which is what they want. And the first one to point a finger at is the outgoing Prime Minister Theresa May, who did her best to sign the UK up to an EU colony form of membership. According to reports, she has now come out firmly against a no-deal Brexit, with sources saying that she believes the only way to leave the EU is with a deal, which is of course her withdrawal agreement surrender treaty, and that she also voted for Rory Stewart in the first round of leadership voting, as he was the only candidate sticking properly to her so-called deal. Now there are more reports coming out saying that Mrs May might be looking to form an alliance with the Chancellor Philip Hammond and the Pension Secretary Amber Rudd to block Boris Johnson from being able to pursue a no-deal WTO Brexit. On top of that, we also have that arch-Europhile Tory MP Ken Clarke, who says he will vote to bring down any what he calls idiot Tory leader who tries to take the country out of the EU without a deal. This is a tragic farce of a crisis, he said, in which anger and protests are wide sentiments across the public scene. The Conservative Party is in turmoil internally and deeply unpopular with the general public. My entire political career has been based on building up Britain's political standing and economic prosperity through our membership of the EU and the European project. Now it's all come to an end, and the political system and Parliament is in such mayhem and incapable of dealing with the crisis that this referendum has provoked. The European project, that sums up his whole approach, doesn't it? And the referendum provoked nothing. It was the result of the establishment trying to force the UK deeper into the EU against the wishes of the people. And on the other side of the House of Commons, we now have the Labour Party Deputy Leader Tom Watson saying that his party must come out firmly for remaining in the EU and saying that there was still time to reverse the Brexit vote. In a speech to the Centre for European Reform, he said, "Pro-European is who we are, who we have always been. Our members are Remain, our values are Remain, our hearts are Remain. The only way to break the political deadlock is to bring the public back into this decision, and we must argue strongly to Remain. Our future doesn't need to be Brexit. We can change our future. We can put Britain back at the heart of Europe again." When was the UK ever at the heart of Europe, as he calls it? If, as I suspect, he means the EU, then the only way we could ever be at the heart of the EU would be to embrace the euro and the Schengen zone, to hand over full fiscal and monetary powers to Brussels and the European Central Bank, to place our legal system permanently and totally under the control of the European Court of Justice, to hand over our complete intelligence, security and defence systems to the EU Commission. Being at the heart of Europe means vying with the Germans and the French as to which of us would be the biggest federalists. And the next time a Remainer talks about being in the EU to reform it, ask them to define exactly what they're going to reform, how they're going to reform it, which treaties would have to change, so how would that be done, and by when will it all be reformed. And that's of course when they start with the abusive language normally. So here's the challenge. If as a Remainer you got your way, how would you get to be at the heart of Europe, as Remainers generally call it, and exactly what would you reform? How would you do it, including changes to treaties, and when would it all be done by? But I do suspect that most Remainers wouldn't have an answer, and do not really want to do anything other than just be in the EU up to the eyeballs, and would be more than happy to merely accept what they're given. Anyway, what do you think? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.